I'm wondering, why do you think Mr. Poilievre's housing message is resonating over your government's message?
I'm not going to agree with the premise of your question, obviously.
I'm so cute.
But let me just say this. Housing is a key issue for Canadians.
Be forewarned, everybody. This video is 3 minutes and 48 seconds long. Why is Pierre Poilievre's messaging resonating better than Trudeau's? You know what? I'm a little neurotic. Before I even get into this, let me bring this out. Want to do the standard video intro, but I need to make sure that audio. I don't have a good mic, so let me know. I'm going to go to locals because I know in locals the chances of me getting trolled are far less. How's the audio, locals? Whoever's next door to me at this hotel is going to be going crazy for the next hour. I'll try not to scream too much. Let's make sure the audio is good. It's as good as it's going to get. Lighting is as good as it's going to get. We're on the road. We drove, just a cool 700, 800 kilometers today. She looks like a witch from The Wizard of Oz, says Tony the Turtle in our vivabarneslaw.locals.com community. Audio's good, good. So let me just let's pull one ugly mug out to bring back another ugly.
We get that. And we understand, we talk about the cost of living challenge. Groceries are part of it, but at the end of the day, housing is such a big part of it. If people have a home that they can afford,
so far she's been talking for 40 seconds, garbage.
Everything else in their life works. So we completely understand.
They completely understand. It was their 2015 PM campaign. Housing for all, affordable housing, solving the housing crisis, 2015.
That this is a challenge for Canadians.
It's a challenge for Canadians.
And our message to Canadians is,
give us another 3 years when we run an election. We'll do it then. Natives, you'll get clean drinking water in the next 3 years. That was one of their other 2015 election promises. Housing 2015, 2018, 2019, 2021, and then all of a sudden, housing is a provincial issue, not a federal issue.
We are there to speak to the challenge and to act on the challenge.
Verbal diarrhea.
It is
verbal diarrhea coming out of a human anus.
A really steep hill for us to climb as a country. And it's a steep hill for us to climb, partly because, as Sean was saying in his opening remarks, this is not a challenge that started yesterday.
No, it was one that you started tackling when you were elected, not you, Chrystia Freeland, the Liberals in 2015. 2015.
For decades now, governments in Canada have not been building affordable housing and supporting the building of affordable housing. We are changing that. And the second thing is, and this, as finance minister, I see as a huge advantage for Canada, we're a growing country. That's a good thing. Every other wealthy industrialized nation in the world, when they look at their economy, one of the first problems they see is a demographic challenge.
Do you know why it's a growing country? Talked about it yesterday. Opening up the border is a great way to become a growing country, not a great way to increase GDP. It might actually have a net negative impact on GDP. Open the border to immigrants who are not necessarily financially contributing to the ecosystem of the country that has just brought them in. It's not a good thing. But yeah, it's growing, right? 97% of the growth is immigration.
Because Canada is one of the few countries that is open to immigration, that is less of a challenge for us. That's a great thing.
Of course, if flooding a house is not a challenge, just open the front door.
A growing country needs to build more homes. And that...
With what? Unicorn farts and fairy wings? You need to build more homes. You need to have a working society that contributes. Because there's not endless tax dollars you can squeeze out of the people who are willingly going to stay in that country. Yeah, you're letting people in en masse who are not necessarily contributing to GDP. So while GDP might be going up as a raw number, it's going down per capita.
That's why we have policies that are about supply, supply, supply.
Of what
and we
exactly?
have been going at it aggressively. Let's look at what we've done just this fall alone. lifting the GST on purpose-built rental, which, by the way, the Conservatives are opposed to doing.
We're going to stop. This is yet another example of a government that is incompetent, creating problems, and then in order to resolve those problems, well, we got population problems, open the border. Well, now we've got GDP problems. I don't know, tax more, print more cash. Oh my goodness. Can't believe the corruption with the top 5 liberals. Nothing happens to them, so top cops and judges must be all working together, breaking law. Nothing happens. Unfriggin' believe. It just goes on for 3 minutes and 50 seconds. Why is Pierre Poilievre's housing proposals resonating better than the liberals? Because you guys have been in power for 8 years now and have done jack squat. I mean, you all know this. Sorry, I'm not going to scream as much as usual because I don't know if people next door can hear this. Liberals Housing 2015 Canada. The Liberal Housing Plan. Oh, I had a typo there. 2015. Oh, Justin Trudeau pledges new funding for affordable housing, people. It's an amazing thing when you have a memory because you've lived through it. Justin Trudeau pledges new funding for affordable housing, tax breaks for developers. The reality is that too many Canadians cannot afford to buy a house, the Liberal leader said. Oh, when was this published? Yesterday? No. September 2015. Look at how young Satan was back then. He was so wet behind the ears. He hadn't yet sold his soul. He still looks like he has a bit of a soul left in his horrible, evil, corrupt body. Okay, people. Good evening. Holy crab apple. So I'm on the way back from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, to the Boca area of Florida, and it's a long, bloody drive. I left Monday. We went to Alison Morrow's place, who has put together a vlog of our stay that she's having some technical difficulties publishing, but it's coming soon, so stay tuned. And then on, what was it? So that's Monday. Tuesday, we drove like 9 hours to get to Tuscaloosa. Yesterday, which was Wednesday, what happened yesterday? Yeah, Wednesday was the debate. We're going to talk about the debate. Holy cows. And today we were going to go like marathon 6 o'clock in the morning to 7 o'clock at night, door to door, but decided to cut the day in half so that I could do a stream. Kid could take a break. I could exercise. He exercised as well. I love it. Nobody bothers us in these gyms and these hotels. Like, you have to be 60. No. So we broke it up into 2 days. Still had a pretty decent day of driving. But the debate yesterday, holy cows, it was, we'll get into it. There were some technical difficulties in that we couldn't hear the candidates for the first 20 minutes of the debate. Could barely hear the announcers. I think they fixed the mic problems a little bit. But, oh, here we go. Now I'm selling the Obama plagiarist. If that doesn't scream infiltrator, I don't know what does. Idiom Radio. Well, Idiom, if you think it makes someone a plagiarist to use paradigmic cliche of expressions, you don't understand what plagiarism is. You can find any number of speeches in which people use analogies of giving someone the keys to the car, leaving the front door open. And if you think Obama was the first person to have ever said any of these things in that way, as they're political cliches. And I'm not selling the Obama plagiarist if you're referring to Vivek. I still have the number one person that I know needs to get elected as retribution for all of this. But Vivek, whether you like him or not, whether you think he's a phony or not, he is saying the things that I've been saying for a long time. And so I'll just take it as flattery that he gets out on the stage yesterday and says January 6th was an inside job. We'll get there. Oh, all right. So the debate yesterday was very interesting. On the show for today, when we get there in a few minutes, we're going to talk about Vivek going scorched earth on Nikki Haley. There was like there was a team up yesterday, Vivek and DeSantis versus Haley, and then you had Haley and Christie versus Vivek. So it was fun. We'll talk about it, and I'm going to get into Vivek going nuclear. You get up on stage and you say Jan 6 was an inside job. Holy, you might as well say 9/11 was an inside job and think that that's not going to blow a few minds out there. To hear someone say it, because we know that it is. Definitively, logically, and I'll give you the receipts. I'll then talk about it for a while. To hear someone say it, yeah, it's about damn time. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about some stuff out of Canada, which I think we're going to start with, because F you, YouTube. We're going to call it F YouTube. We're going to talk about the mayor of Montreal just collapsing on live air. Just, things that always happened. Don't you always remember politicians, journalists collapsing live in air? I can think of, what was the girl's name? Jessica Robson or Jessica Robman? Jessica Robbie? There was a global news journalist, collapsed. One who had also previously tweeted out about certain medical procedures that they were taking. You had the lawyer for the convoy during the commission, collapsing. One who had previously tweeted out hashtag vaxxed to the max. Now you have Valérie Plante, the mayor of Montreal, collapsing. Apparently it's her second medical emergency, health emergency in 2023. And there are some receipts on the interwebs that might allow some people to legitimately ask, can I connect these dots yet? Or no, not so much. Valérie Plante. There was something else coming out of Canada. Well, I have to go check my notes before we get there. What is it? How am I senile that I forgot the other news story coming out of Canada? Oh, yeah, just, the healthcare system in shambles. We'll get to that as well. Then we're going to get to Vivek and my highlights, my assessment from last night. For those of you who don't know who I am, you stumbled across some crazy person in a hotel room somewhere yelling at a computer and a camera. Viva Frei, David Frei, Montreal litigator turned Florida rumbler. We start on YouTube, Rumble, and vivabarneslaw.locals.com. Viva Frei. Where we're going to have an after party afterwards. What was I just about to say? So let me just make sure. I should have made sure that we're live on all of these platforms, and we are. My dog and cat... I'm not reading that just yet. So what we're going to do, we do a couple of stories on YouTube and Rumble. Then we end on YouTube, move over to Rumble. The link is in the pinned comment. And then what we do after that, when the stream's over, we go over to vivabarneslaw.locals.com for an exclusive after party. Everybody's happy. Everybody has a wonderful afternoon, morning, whenever it is I decide to stream. We're live on all platforms. Let me make sure we're good on Locals. We're good. All right. Let's watch the video. Roll it. Whatever. Keemstar. Whatever happened to Keemstar? Roll it. It's just... there is no Schadenfreude here. I know some people will get Schadenfreude, and I can't blame them for getting Schadenfreude out of seeing stuff like this. I get none of it. I just say, Journal de Montréal, if you can imagine it, when that journalist, when the reporter from Global News or whatever it was, collapsed live on TV, had previous posts about getting a certain medical intervention, and I asked the obvious question, when did you last get a jibby jab? And then they write about me in Journal de Montréal, which is the Journal of Montreal, suggesting that I'm a conspiracy theorist. Oh, I want to pull an Elon Musk, Tucker Carlson, Dana White moment and say, go F yourself, but I'm not going to, because it's still early in the day. But I've got questions. And wait until you see this. We'll bring up the video, and then we'll just, bring up legit questions. End Wokeness posted this. It's horrifying to watch, because every now and again I'll be doing a stream and you get overwhelmed with panic. Like you realize you've been talking for 35 seconds. You have no idea what the hell you're saying. You're losing your thoughts. You think you look like an idiot. You want to throw up. It happens. Collapsing live while reporting. Maybe we haven't been looking for it, but it hasn't been happening like this. Ville de Montréal, City of Montreal, this is Valérie Plante.
Direct them to other kinds of services. So I would... Oh non, je sais pas. Merci beaucoup. S'il vous plaît, on va arrêter les caméras, merci.
What? Oh yeah, you got to stop the cameras. On va arrêter les caméras. Got to stop the cameras. Can't let people see what's actually happening in this world. That's Valérie Plante. It's terrible. It's horrifying. You hope she's all right. What the hell happened? What the hell happened? Apparently, it's not even the first time this year that she's had a medical emergency. So maybe she's got something totally unrelated. I don't remember the name of the journalist who says she knows what happened. There are any number of reasons why something like this can happen. People get dizzy, people get nauseous, people throw up. It happens. I don't want to tell you what I'm drinking. It's not anything entertaining. It has caffeine in it. I don't know what this crap is. It's not, I shouldn't have done it. Tastes good, but I should have done it. It's not the first time she's had an incident this year, so it makes the news. Another collapsing journalist, politician, anchor, whatever. It makes the news, and then you demonize the people who say this isn't normal. Going to Daily Mail. Shocking moment. Montreal Mayor Valérie Plante collapses while giving speech live on TV. Valérie Plante was speaking at a news conference at City Hall Tuesday morning when she suddenly went silent and dropped to the ground mid-sentence. Happens all the time, people. Aides rushed to her side, walked her to a nearby elevator. An ambulance took Plante to a hospital. Since her health scare, Plante said she's feeling better and is currently in stable condition. It was her second health scare in 2023. Just go down. Shocking moment, yada yada. She was speaking to City Hall, and we'll get to it. Okay, I don't know that there's going to be much more news to this. She addressed this in Tuesday, providing an update on her condition to her followers on X. What did she say? This morning I felt uneasy during my press conference, she wrote in French. Fortunately, I'm better. Thank you very much for the support. I was able to meet my medical team. I'm doing well. However, as a preventative measure, to fully get back into shape, I will have to reduce the pace of my activities in the coming days. I will have to be absent from the city council meetings this evening, exceptionally, yada yada. Her office explained that the mayor experienced malaise for the second time this year, but was out of danger. Preventative measure, she will not attend a city council meeting. Who cares? Not who cares like that, but you know what I mean. It's not the first time Plante missed work due to an illness. Earlier this year, medical condition caused her to cancel her appearance at a news conference. An assistant said she had suffered a malaise at the time. Malaise is what we know what it is. It means nothing and everything. Many wished her well. I'm thinking of you, yada yada. Glad you're recovering well. But some crazy conspiracy theorists are wondering if it had anything to do with any number of jabs or boosters that she did in fact have. Just go back. The internet's forever. Remember when, let me see here. Here we go. Do you remember when Valérie Plante posted, or City News posted this? When was this from, people? June 25th, 2021. Normal is on its way, end quote. That's what Montreal Mayor Valérie Plante tweeted Friday after receiving her second vaccine, urging those who haven't made their appointment yet to do so. As of Friday, people who received 2 doses can gather inside without a mask. Oh, thank you. Can you... It will be. I don't want to have a medical issue live by having blood pressure make my head explode. Do you remember when the science was that if you had 2 doses, you could gather inside without a mask? Science, people. And we were the idiots to say, this makes absolutely no sense. This is a Milgram experiment. But let's play the video.
Montreal Mayor Valérie Plante was among those receiving their second vaccine jab on Friday. After receiving AstraZeneca for her first shot, it was now time for Pfizer. Posting on Twitter later,
what the hell does that mean? After getting the AstraZeneca, it was now time for Pfizer? Did Pfizer do any tests? Were they crossed over which jabs you took as the pair? Oh yeah, you could just go AstraZeneca, then you can go Johnson & Johnson, then go back to Pfizer. Oh yeah, they do Moderna just so you get the full grand slam.
normal is on its way, but there is still work to be done to get everyone on board and vaccinated.
Normal on its way. Let's flash back to her collapsing. Normal's on its way. By the way, I'm making no medical conclusions that there's any correlation between this. YouTube overlords. This is just news that is on the internet for everyone to see.
We hope we can end COVID this summer. Starting Friday, people who have received 2 doses of a vaccine will be permitted to gather inside without a mask. A maximum of 3,500 will also be allowed at outdoor festivals.
Hypothetically, just hypothetically, if there were a correlation, would the general public not be within its not constitutional rights, God-given rights to know? Would they not be within their rights to know that we were experimented on and some people are now publicly, very publicly showing the signs? Maybe if it undermined everything they did and coerced people to do, if it exposed them to liability for having immunized, hypothetically, just going back to Anthony Housefather's description of how these companies were just churning the crap out, garbage in, garbage out. 2 jabs as of June 2021. How many is she up to? When was her last one? Is it related? Inquiring minds want to know, or everyone else who was so experimented on. Not making any connections. I'm just saying this happened to her. Oh, but hold on here. Where was it? Valérie Plante. Here we go. Look at this. Remember, this is the Valérie Plante. What year? October 2021. Valérie Plante plans to make vaccination mandatory for Montreal's elected officials. That's funny. Life can only be understood backwards, people, but it must be lived forwards. Kierkegaard. All of this makes a lot more sense reading it in reverse. Municipal party leaders in favor. Discussions are underway to impose vaccination on all City Hall employees. No one forced you to do anything. Don't you remember that? No one forced you. This is not what we call a franchisisme, like a French, when you translate something from French into English. Imposer is to, imposer is to get someone to do something, or... No one forced you to do anything, but the discussion underway to impose vaccination on all City Hall employees. You don't want it? Piss off, you don't get a job anymore. Nobody forced you to do anything. We just imposed it on you. And if you chose to refuse the imposition and quit your job, well, that's on you. A mandate requiring Montreal City Council's next elected officials to be fully vaccinated against COVID-19. Fully. Now it means just a booster every 6 months. And who knows what happens? According to the incumbent mayor, Valérie Plante, no one without 2 shots should be allowed to enter Montreal City Hall. This is where people are going to get schadenfreude out of this if there is a connection. And even if there's not, people are going to say, yeah, there's karma on this earth. Some people are going to say that. I'm not saying that. Part of me, the devil on my left, might want me to say that. The thought comes through my mind. And I say humans are humans, even if they are awful, awful humans. No. No one without 2 shots should be allowed to enter Montreal City Hall. Wrong on efficacy. And the only question is, were they also wrong on that other half of that statement? Blank and blank. Safe and effective. Well, there were certainly... Aspiring municipal officials are required to lead by example, said Plante in a Friday tweet. Wow. You know what? Let me open up that tweet. Go back to that one. Yeah. Lead by example. Wow. This is why all elected officials will have to be able to show their vaccination passport during the next meeting. Nobody knows what her medical condition is. She's had 2 of them in 2023. She had 2 of something else in 2021, and she probably had a number of others in 2022. Who knows? Don't ask, don't tell. I'm going to leave that window open so I can look at that afterwards. It's disgusting. I mean, yeah, but there's nothing to see. There's nothing to ask. And if you dare ask it, hey, Journal de Montréal, go write up a piece about me tomorrow. When was Valérie Plante's last jab? How many has she had? And is there any correlation between her second medical malaise and the fact that she might be jacked to the max? Asking. Did any journalist ask this? Of course not. It's rude. They can ask you to show your vaccination to get into City Hall, but we can't ask the collapsing mayor when her last shot was. It's amazing how that works. I want to swear so... Child's in the other room. I don't think he can hear me. I think he's watching a movie, but I'm not going to do it anyhow. All right. Wasn't it the PM of New Zealand who collapsed, jabbed, and a blonde reporter who face planted on the desk with her co-host says, oh, not again, and that comedian who slumped... Dude, there's so many of them, John. There's so many of them. It's beyond description. There was the comedian who fell, cracked her skull when she landed on the ground, and she was making a joke about it. I got all my shots at the same time, and then she made a joke about Jesus loving her. And then she literally collapsed, smacked her head on the floor. Everyone thought it was part of the skit. She cracked her skull. There are countless journalists who have collapsed live on air. Oh, my goodness. Well, that's what's happening in Montreal. There's more that's happening in Montreal. But before I forget, my goodness, it's going to be good timing. Before I forget, you might have noticed when you came into the stream, it said, this stream contains a paid promotion, and it's got a sponsor. Yes, it does. Look at that. That's my logo right there, people. Startmail.com. This is, I mean, it's the alternative to Gmail for those who are looking for safe mail. Are you tired of being targeted with phishing emails? Fed up with spam cluttering your inbox? Concerned about the companies like Google and government spying on your private conversations? Happens all the time, people. It's almost a joke. Because I talk about something, although I probably Googled it if I talked about it, and then I start getting ads for it. It's time to switch to StartMail. StartMail is a secure alternative to Gmail that lets you send emails like they're in a sealed envelope, making sure your communication stays private and secure. Services like Google collect your data and use it for targeted ads. Everybody knows that. If the product is free, you are the product. And Google's not even free anymore. They get you hooked, and then you get stuck paying $3 a month so you don't lose all of your emails. StartMail is a strictly ad-free service that does not collect or share your data with third parties for advertisement or tracking. Your StartMail account comes with all of the features you need, including unlimited disposable email addresses to protect your inbox from phishing scams and hacking attempts. Switching to StartMail is super easy. If you're worried about your old emails stored on Gmail, Outlook, Yahoo, etc., they've got you covered. StartMail's hassle-free migration tool lets you move all of your email contacts with just a few clicks. No technical knowledge required. Over the past decade, StartMail is the most trusted name in email privacy. I'll read you some of the features here. Actually, you gotta see this one. People seem to like the endless aliases. Protect yourself with anonymous aliases. I'm not sure what those are used for, but people seem to like that a lot. Over the past decade, StartMail has become a trusted name in email privacy, so that's why you should use it. But if you go and you put in, what is it? The link is in the description. It's startmail.com/Viva, and you'll get 50% off your first year subscription. So it's good. Do it and break free from the shackles of big tech spying. All right, but we're not yet done with the news coming out of Canada. Do we do this one here? We're going to do this one here too, because blame Canada. I was going to say something even worse. I'm not going to say it. And then we're going to move on over to Rumble. Viva Frei on Rumble. If anyone wants to come over to vivabarneslaw.locals.com, we've got 212 people watching on Locals. It's amazing. Come over to Locals. You could be a member for $7 a month, $70 a year at the discounted rate, or just be a member that's a non-paying member, a non-paying supporter. Supporter is $7 a month, $70 a year. If you like what we do and you want to continue to help us do it, I think it's going up to $10 a month in the new year, $100 a year at the discount. So get in now and lock it in at the older rate. Or you could just be a member of the community. We're like at 120,000 non-supporting members. It's a wonderful community. So you can go watch this over there. Before we go over to Rumble, we're going to do one more story on YouTube. And it's gonna enrage me as much as anything has ever enraged me. Hold on a second. I don't think I put up. This is it right here. Look at this. No. That was the intro video that I was going to start with. Well, I'll save that one for later. Let me pull up the video. I think I didn't put it in my backdrop. Just the Canadian healthcare system on full display. Do y'all remember what the expression was in the beginning? 2 weeks to flatten the curve. 2 weeks to flatten the curve so as not to overwhelm the healthcare facility. Everybody remembers that, right? Our healthcare system it's at its tipping point. You got to stay out of the hospitals, people. So 2 weeks to flatten the curve. What month are we in now? Here, look at this. Let's watch this. Is this what I put up?
Needs more.
Hold on, let me just make sure. Focus. I hope I don't have anything private on my phone anyhow. Well, I uploaded the wrong version. Okay, that's great.
On Thursday morning at 230%. The system also needs more investment in chronic care. In Montreal, Anastasia Dextrine, City News.
It's terrible. This is why I have to repost
Emergency rooms at hospitals across Quebec are over capacity and in crisis mode. Here,
this is in 2020. This is not March 2020. This is last week, 2023.
At the Royal Victoria, occupancy was at the highest in Montreal on Thursday morning at 230%. This despite a crisis cell to fix overcrowding in Quebec, launched a year ago by Health Minister Christian Dubé. Health professionals saying with long wait times and staff shortages, everyone is suffering. With an aging population in Quebec, doctors say the healthcare system also needs more investment in chronic care. In Montreal, Anastasia Dextrine, City News. With an aging population in Quebec, doctors say the healthcare system also needs more investment in chronic care. In Montreal, Anastasia Dextrine, City News.
They restricted their replies. That's what I was trying to show there. Understand and appreciate what she just said. They're at 230% capacity. That's amazing. This is 2023. In March of 2020, it was 2 weeks to flatten the curve because our healthcare system is going to be overloaded. As though it has not been an issue for decades. in Canada the healthcare system has been on the brink? 2018, Toronto hospital cancels elective surgery. Do you all remember this one? It was a new problem for COVID. It was the reason to lock us in our. They can't handle and manage the healthcare system. Lock us in our homes for their own incompetence. This is 2018. Just look right there, February 2018. More surgeries postponed due to overwhelming number of flu cases. Wow, they could have declared COVID in 2018 and had the exact same. 2018, hospitals overloaded, canceling elective surgeries. 2020, 2 weeks to flatten the curve because we can't all jump to the hospital with COVID. It's going to collapse the system. 2022, Christian Dubé, this is out of Quebec, but it's the same across Canada. I think it's even worse perhaps in Nova Scotia. 2022, it's a crisis. We need to revamp and revitalize our healthcare system. 2023, we're no longer in COVID. The hospitals are overwhelmed. What have they done, jack squat, except for violate the citizenry? What have they done? Jack squat, except for spend $152 million on COVID ads. What have they done to entice doctors to join the healthcare system? Jack squat. In 2020, it was 2 weeks to flatten the curve because they said the healthcare system's failing. It had been flailing for decades before COVID. What have they done since? Jack squat. What does the media do? Comes out with a little 30-second fluff piece. It's crisis mode, people. The hospitals were overloaded. It was a year ago that they said they were going to do something about it. 2 years into the pandemic, 3 years later, they've done nothing, and you're all literally dying. Not all of you. Many of you, some of you are literally dying in the emergency rooms. Let me see, what was it here? Look at this. Google. Nova Scotia dying in waiting room. There we go. Look at this. This is Nova Scotia. Family of a Nova Scotia woman who died after 7 hours is suing the health authority. How many people died that year? And this is 2022. In 2022, they had something like 500 people in Nova Scotia die waiting in the ERs. Nova Scotia people dying in ER. How many was it? Last 3 months, 20. I mean, this is from April. I think we talked about this once before. Last 3 months of 2022 had the most deaths in Nova Scotia ERs in any quarter in 6 years. What have they done in the 3 years of this pandemic? Jack shit. Except for screw the citizens, lock them down, take away their rights, experiment on them, and they've done nothing to actually manage the problem that they knew existed for decades. It's almost like it was pretextual. Almost. Time to start suing Big Pharma. Oh, God. Okay, here's what we're going to do now. We're live everywhere. We're going to end this on YouTube. Come on over to Rumble. Link here. Well, hold on. Before I go, does it feel like I'm lacking energy? Because I feel like I'm slightly self-conscious about bothering any potential neighbors in this hotel room. So I don't. Oh, geez, what happened?
What time is it?
It's 5:40. Have you eaten Did you eat the ramen?
Yeah.
Is it good? Was it good?
Yes.
Yeah, good. Kid ate ramen. I'll tell you one thing. Okay. Texas is suing Pfizer. We talked about that last Sunday. We're going to talk about that again. Oh, sorry. Thank you for reminding me. Move to Canada where even the homeless can get maid services. In that clip about the hospitals being overloaded, the elderly, the old population is in dire need of healthcare in Quebec. It's almost a great convenience that Quebec is leading, I think, the free world in euthanasia. 6.6% of death in Quebec was government-inflicted through medical assistance in dying. It was the third leading cause of death in Canada, medical assistance in dying. So the healthcare system is overrun. They've done nothing to fix it. They are incompetent, corrupt tyrants. François Legault, I'm looking and talking to you. Corrupt, murderous tyrants. What do they do after screwing up the healthcare system for decades? Locking us down because it's so decrepit? Experimenting on us, promising us that that's the only way to get out, and then collapsing live on the air and don't ask any questions? What do? Then they literally start killing the population. Literally. When the news broke that Quebec's third leading cause of death was government-inflicted murder, suicide, euthanasia, mercy killing, whatever you want to call it. Then they're like, well, we better put the brakes on this. It looks like we might be trying to kill off the portion of the population that we can't care for. Hospitals are overloaded. We got too many old people that need care. Kill them. Oh no, now we're getting bad publicity for killing too many old people? Back it up. That's what they literally have done in Quebec. Hold on, I'm going to show my homework on this one. Don't want to get accused of anything. Then we are going to go over to locals. Third leading cause of death, Quebec, maids. Let's see here. Here we go. Is this it? Yeah, June 15. Let me just bring this one up just so nobody questions, and if I get any details wrong so I can correct them. Quebec becomes the world's euthanasia hotspot, where 7% of all deaths are lethal injections, and officials expand access to Alzheimer's sufferers and force all hospices to offer assistance. Well, what better way to deal with an aging population that's overloading your ERs? Kill them. I mean, it's just it's unbelievable. What did it say? The third leading cause of death here? Let me see this. Third. I don't know if we're going to see it. Whatever. 7.7%. I'm sorry, I actually underestimated it. Where did it go? Yeah, whatever. This is the world in which we live, people. Okay, there's the link to the article. Wait a minute, why can't I post it? Wait a moment and try again. Are we still live? Why can't I share this link? Link, Daily Mail. There you go. Okay, it went through the third time. Serenity now. Lord, give me the strength, for goodness sake. We're going to get, one day I'm going to remember it. Okay, anyways, all that to say, it's amazing how it works. 3 years in, they've done nothing. The aging population, I should not say it. 3 years in, they've done nothing except kill a lot of Quebecers. 7% of all death. Euthanasia. It's a very convenient way of dealing with the overloaded healthcare system. Lighten it up a little bit. Okay, everybody. There will be white pills tonight, I guess. There will be white pills, because there will be. Okay, let's do this. Please have Karen Kingston on your show, Viva. She's got the numbers and the info of the death and injuries. Okay, I'm going to grab this here, screen grab. And that's it. You're a good man, Viva. Thanks for all you do. Thank you. Now, everyone, let's go to the proper platform that respects free speech, where we can get away from CommieTube. 749 people need to leave this platform and come on over to Rumble. And those who are on Rumble, don't forget to hit the thumbs up, like, subscribe button, share this away. And if anybody wants to come directly over to vivabarneslaw.locals.com, where everyone is above average, the link is there. It's outrageous. They call it medical assistance in dying, maids. Like, people are coming in to clean up, which I guess they are. They do that because euthanasia has such a negative connotation to it. And mercy killings, well, the Nazis already used that, so got to go with another euphemism. In 50 years' time, maids is going to have the same connotation as mercy killings from the Third Reich. No link, Viva. Hold on a second. No link. What? Did I not? I didn't put the pin. Oh, no, the link is in the pinned link is in the link to Rumble is pinned in YouTube. It wasn't force. It was extortion. Yep. It was not even that. It was, there's a word for it in criminal law. Oh my goodness, how am I forgetting what the word is? Battery. I don't think that's the right word. Jesus, forget it. Never mind. Okay, we're going over to Rumble. Come on over. We're going to talk about Vivek, because I don't care what you think about him. He's good. Ending on YouTube. Viva Frei, vivabarneslaw.locals.com. And thank you, Start Mail. The link is in the description.